Have you ever wondered if successful investors know something you don't? Maybe it's helping them move faster to their goals? Well, they do, but it's not a secret asset. Most investors spend years chasing the perfect investment, the secret asset, if you will, thinking that's what's going to get them to their goals faster. But it's not. That secret asset doesn't exist. The real advantage comes from something almost nobody talks about, a power source. That power source is what most investors don't even know exists, but it's the same one I've taught thousands of investors. Let me show you what it is. So let's talk about why most investors stay stuck. They're missing this one single thing, and it's a power source. That's what I was referring to earlier. There's a power source behind every single successful strategy, and almost nobody is taught what it is. And that's exactly what we're going to do today. I'm going to reveal to you what that power is, where it comes from, so you can start building wealth the systematic way. Let's start with a regular deal. Any deal is typically has an asset, has the money side, and has a structure, what's called the capital structure. So which of those is the power source? Some people say it's the asset, and they're looking for returns. They're looking for the secret asset. It's not the asset. People think it's leverage, how much debt I'm going to use. Well, that's not either, right? None of those by themselves are the power source. Not even the structure. The power source comes from when you match all of these three together. The power source is created by how assets, the financing, and the capital structure are matched together. This is the secret sauce, folks. That's what allows you to have incredible power, and it's measurable. I'm going to show you here in a second. So this is the power source, how you bring capital together, the assets and the capital structure. Once you learn how to put them together nicely, you have a very powerful source. Can you imagine when you go into a dealership to buy a car and you see people looking at the outside of the car, it looks nice, whatever, and then they start looking at the specs of the engine. This is what the power source is about. It's the specs of the strategy itself. And like I said, it's measurable. I'm going to touch on that here in a second. So what happens is once you put these together nicely, you can actually control and actually score it. So in this example, you see this is 8.88. That's 1 out of 10. The higher, the better. 8.88 is incredible. Now what happens is as you change some of these variables, we talked about asset, the financing, and the structure, it actually starts lowering the score or increasing the score. So as you put it together, it becomes a very powerful power source. And this number tells you essentially how fast you're moving towards your goals. A lot of people are structuring deals that are like a 2 or a 1 or a 3, and they think they're moving fast because they think it's the asset. It's not the asset, it's not the leverage, it's not the structure independently. They're all have to come together and match perfectly together, and that's how you get the score. What is possible with this? Once you know how to put this and once you know how to get the score, what's possible suddenly? So here's what happens. It becomes measurable. Now you can take any strategy and decide, here's how I'm going to structure it. Now it's becoming a very powerful engine, very powerful vehicle that you're buying essentially or putting together. It tells you also what stage of the journey you can use it. So you'll see in the lower right corner, one of the things we use with our members, again, we have a lot of members using this, is when should you use this strategy? For example, is it in the beginning when you're trying to build your wealth fast, or is it halfway, or is it towards the end? This tells you exactly where to place that strategy, given the score and given the parameters of that. This also gives you ongoing feedback, because what happens with the strategy over time is the number actually changes, right? Some might go down, some might go up, but you have to know what these numbers are, because here's what happens. Once you know what these numbers are, this will tell you when to use it. It will also tell you when to replace it that's not working anymore, and when to find a more powerful structure, more powerful power source. This is what we call the ARC loop in our company at Finance. We make sure that every member knows exactly what their score is and how to keep an eye on it. So here's a scenario I want you to think about. Let's just say you've got these three strategies. You've got one, strategy A, strategy B, and strategy C. Which one is structured to fund the next? Which one has the best structure? Okay. The next question is, which one should you scale first to maximize wealth? And the third question is, which one is quietly trapping your capital? You cannot just guess those numbers, folks. You have to know the power source, and you have to be able to measure it. This is what will actually answer those questions. But guess what? How many investors out there are just driving blindly without knowing these numbers? They don't know the power source. They're just buying an asset thinking this is going to get me to my goals. No, it's not. It's not the power source, folks. How many people out there, for example, own real estate? Real estate is an incredible wealth building strategy and vehicle, but guess what? The real estate on its own doesn't get you there. It's how you put all of these things together and you measure it. That is the missing link for most investors. And I want you to learn this because I want you to start realizing you can't just look at an asset and say, this is it, right? It's how you put the whole thing together. With our members, we have what we call the capital amplifier. The reason I'm showing you this, you're going to see the green part there under strategies component. This is the process our members use. So when you look at under strategies component, you don't optimize the assets directly. You optimize the power source. What do I mean by that? Let me show you here. So you'll see under strategies component, you've got all of these strategies. Each one of them has a power source number. So what happens is, let's just say you're working on strategy. You have these 4 strategies, for example, and strategy 4 is not performing very well. You can go in there and tweak the structure and how the assets financing and the structure work together so you can improve it. This way you're constantly optimizing the power source itself, not the asset. Right? Not the asset. And this is what makes this so powerful, because now you can see how much faster you can go towards your goals when everything is measurable and you know exactly how to tweak it. This is the secret power source for many people. So I want you to really take the time to learn about this stuff. The first thing you need to do is become aware of the power source. Now you know what the power source is. It's the matching of these 3 sides of the triangle. So the question is, what is the cost of not having this power source? I want you to think about every investor out there. Very few people understand this power source. They're just bouncing around, trying to find assets, and they think it's about a collection of assets that's going to get them to their goals. It's not. It's the power source. And what is the cost of just guessing your way to your financial goals? That's the problem with most investors. This is the information I've been training people for many years, thousands of investors. This is the benefit of having a power source that you can measure. So the main takeaway here for you is now you know where the power source comes from. Always become aware it's the 3 sides. Okay? Then the next thing is, now that you're aware, take the time to learn about this power source and how to use it to work for you. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Go ahead under the video here, under the notes and description. You'll find a lot of links to many resources we have. So let us know if you like this. If you do, please go ahead and give us a thumbs up and share this video with other friends.